Everyone in San Francisco likes to talk about walkability, but what does that actually cost you? I'm going to walk you through this stunning remodeled home with ocean views in a fantastic neighborhood and show you what you get for your money. Later on, I'm going to compare this one to almost the exact same home just a mile away that sold in the same market, and we're going to compare what walkability gets you and how much you have to pay to get walkability. I'm Lauren Newshaw with the Krishnan team. If you enjoy real estate videos like this, check back in every Monday at 5 p.m. for more content. Okay, let's go inside. I want to show you this home. Follow me. Before we get inside, I want to talk about the exterior of the home. So a lot of the homes, we're in the Parkside neighborhood right now, and a lot of the homes in this neighborhood were built in the 1920s, 1930s, and so you have on this block a lot of very similar types of properties. They were all kind of built in a very similar period. The thing that makes them different, I think, are the little choices that each seller makes to their home. So it's like you see a lot of different fun paint colors in the area. With this home in particular, what I love about it is you can see a lot of the original this was built in 1928, the original 1928 style, but they've added some elements to it that really give it this sort of modern feel. So these wooden planter boxes, obviously the white and black paint colors really make it kind of a little bit more modern. The light fixtures that they chose on the exterior, you'll see as we walk up, some of the doors just give it a kind of a fun, fresh feel to it. Okay, let's go on in. I also want to point out these stairs. I really like how they put in the slate stairs here. Also gives it a little bit more of a modern touch, but it blends really well with the kind of old and new. So let's go inside, let's take a look. I love this home. Actually sold it to the current sellers, so I'll give you the inside scoop. Okay, so we walk into this home and right away we get to see all of kind of the showstopper elements of the place, all of the living space, open floor plan. So this is just shy of 2,400 square feet. As I mentioned, it was built in 1928, but completely remodeled really from head to toe in 2022. So it feels like a brand new home. We walk in here into the living space, and as I said, it's just all open, so you can entertain here. You can all hang out as a family, invite your friends over to this space. And then of course, from the living space, we have a little peekaboo. It's actually not even peekaboo. It's a full-fledged view of the ocean. You can see all of these windows were new with the remodel as well. You have automatic roller shades too. You're gonna get some nice sunsets here. We are west facing, so you can see the ocean over there. Always great to have the ocean from the living space. That's always my preference because that's where you're spending most of your time. And so I prefer to have that here versus like in a primary bedroom. So this room has quite a lot of scale. I think the one thing that buyers are gonna think about in this home is where am I gonna put my TV and where am I gonna situate my couch? So the way we have it staged right now just opens it up. But I think someone might envision like a TV goes there, maybe you have a big kind of sectional couch. I don't know, cutting off the room a little bit. It's one of those things that everyone needs to think about if they care about where a TV goes. You could certainly put it above. This is a decorative fireplace, so you could certainly put it above there. I think that's probably the best spot for it. So beautiful living space. We have this accent fireplace here with accent paint that I think really brings it all together. Let's walk into the dining room now. So we have an 8-seater here, which is really great for San Francisco to really be able to entertain. And not only do you have the full dining space, but you obviously have 4 seats there at the island. So this home is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home. And with the remodel, it's kind of interesting. You can probably go online or we can show some pictures too. It was sold just a year or two rather before the remodel. It sold for above 1.6 when it was a kind of total gut remodel. So crazy to think of those numbers for something that's a little bit more of a fixer, but they touched this from head to toe and ended up selling it for over 2.4. So about, around 800 more than what the developer purchased it for. It was a developer kind of flip, if you will. So you have a little kind of outdoor space here. We'll get to the yard, which is really beautiful in just a little bit. I don't know exactly what you'd use this for. I don't think anyone would necessarily sit out here, but I would definitely envision some plants going there, maybe some herbs. Always nice to have a spot to walk outside. Something else I love about this home is just these big walls that are really asking for some beautiful artwork. I love big artwork. I love these big statement pieces, and some of our staging here has really done the trick too. But I think sometimes in homes in San Francisco, you have more nuance in terms of the walls, like on a Victorian or something, you have more shelving and it doesn't lend itself as much to artwork. So I love that about this place. You can really sort of dress up your home. Walking into the kitchen here, so really great scale in this kitchen. You have that massive countertop here, and then in between your fridge and your countertop, you have plenty of room for multiple people to be in here, which I love. It's not a galley kitchen at all. We have quartz countertops in here, so the goal for these countertops was to make it look like marble, but to be a lot more durable and a lot more sort of stain resistant. So that's the kind of swooshing you have here, is to make this look not like quartz, but like marble, and I think they did a good job. There's always a variety of countertops in terms of using that quartz. This one I feel is subtle, but pretty. So I think some people can do it poorly, but this one looks really, really nice. You have your microwave set under here. I think that's a big thing for a lot of buyers, is like, they don't know until they move into the house that there was no place for their microwave, and then they have to put it like in the middle of their countertops, which is not as beautiful. So that's nice. It has a spot here. All updated appliances with the remodel, of course. This kitchen was completely redone. Landry behind the camera is a big fan of this ventilation system here. Very fancy. Show you how it works. Definitely good for somebody who does a lot of cooking. So that's kind of fun. And then you have a 6-top burner, which is great. This is definitely a kitchen for someone who likes to cook and wants to cook in a more social setting, you know, have multiple people in here doing stuff. So I always love to have some sort of light coming in my kitchen. So even though you're not looking at anything specifically, you have, you know, your neighboring homes next to you, you get a lot of great light coming in. So let's take a look at the rest of the home. So we have 2 bedrooms up, 2 bathrooms up, and then we have a lot more downstairs. So we're gonna get to downstairs in a second, but the downstairs is the most interesting, I think, in terms of a full remodel. A lot of the homes in this section of town, in their original build, they just had this top section as their living space. And then down, oftentimes, you know, it was a massive garage, massive storage space. Sometimes it had good ceiling height, but oftentimes not. In which case, if someone wanted to make permitted space on the lower level, you'd have to dig out quite a bit to give yourself proper ceiling height. So that's what they did here. So I'm looking forward to showing that to you in just a second. Let's jump into this bathroom here. So you have a hall bath with a full shower and tub. That's more of like a guest bath where you're going for, you know, people who are coming over to your house are gonna use that one. We have wide white oak floors here that show just really nice and clean. We're walking in here to, could be a kid's room, could be a guest room, depending on how you want to use the space, but the smaller of the 2 rooms on this level. But you look out, so the yard, we're going to go outside in a second, but the yard is all tiered upwards. And I really like that here because you get to enjoy it even from the 2nd floor here. It's kind of the backdrop for your windows. And then really easy top down, bottom up shades here. Give you some privacy, but also keep in some really gorgeous light in here. There's definitely different ways you could use the space. There's another ensuite on the lower level, so you could certainly use that. But I think most people would use this as their primary. Really, really gracious space here, which I love. I don't think you get that in many homes in San Francisco, even for your primary. So we have a king bed. We have 2 very sizable side tables that are actually not really even tables. They're full-on dressers here. And then we also have a sort of walk-in closet that I'll show you in just a second. And then you have your double vanities in your primary. It's not a massive, massive space, but it totally does the trick. It's a really gracious shower there with a rainfall. And then let's look at the walk-in closet here. So fully built out closet system here, which makes it really easy to just plug and play into this home. I really don't know if you'd have to touch a thing moving into this place. So that gets me to one other thing that I think is really important in a home like this. So it was completely redone, as I mentioned, by a developer, and The first people to really live in this home were my clients who bought the property. And something to keep in mind when you're buying something like this is you're the first ones living in it. You're the first ones you're the guinea pigs almost for the home. And so definitely, if you have a question about a home like this, or you're thinking about buying something that is a newer construction, definitely reach out to us, because there are a lot more nuances in terms of how you want to communicate with the developer and the seller in terms of what are they going to do to help you if your appliances are not working when you move in, or your hot water and your cold water are mixed. Like, there are going to be some natural not growing pains, but kind of pains as you take ownership and you start living in a home that hasn't been lived in before. So definitely reach out to us if you have questions about that, because I think it's a really big pitfall that a lot of people don't know to even think about. So beautiful space down here. Everybody loves not only having your formal living room upstairs, but then where do you entertain or just be a little bit messier when it comes to your living space? Or maybe you want a formal upstairs, but you want a TV room down here, or you have kids and you want play space, or there's just a lot. You could even make this like a home office, or there's a lot of different things you could do with this space, but it's a beautiful flex space. It has great scale as well. A little wet bar is always a nice little touch. You'll see a lot of homes in this neighborhood that have been redone like this have a very similar layout. A lot of times they have this kind of wet bar living space down here, which is a huge, huge bonus. And then in an ideal layout situation, you have space for people to congregate and have fun down here, but you also want them to be able to have a bathroom instead of going all the way upstairs, or having to walk through a bedroom to get to a bathroom. So this is fantastic that you have a space off of the living room down here. We're gonna get to the garage, sexy part of the home, in just a second, but let's tackle the last two bedrooms here. So this one, as I mentioned, could be another primary if you wanted to. I don't know necessarily why you would need it down here, but if you wanted to get away, or if you wanted your primary to have the direct access to the yard, so you don't have direct access off of the top level, which is definitely something that will bring down a little bit of the value, or rather a home that has direct access off the living area or off the top floor is going to increase in value. So in this home, you do have to walk through one of the bedrooms down here in order to access the yard. I think in a lot of cases, because you have 4 bedrooms here, you could make one of them like a guest bedroom or an office, or just a flex space where you don't feel like you're walking into someone's bedroom in order to get outside. So I think that's what a lot of people will think through as they think about this home. So you have another ensuite here. You're probably going to keep your primary, now that I'm thinking about it, upstairs, because you have the dual vanities. It's just more scale upstairs, but nice to have a bigger scaled bedroom down here. Let's go check out the final bedroom and then we'll head outside. So this bedroom, I think you could use as just a flex space if you don't need 4 bedrooms, and then everyone can feel like they can just walk outside really easily into your backyard. But all of the bedrooms are really functional. They all have closets, nothing kind of quirky or abnormal. I think in San Francisco, you're always thinking about these like little things that you have to sacrifice. And that's just the nature of a lot of our inventory here. But I think with a lot of these homes here, the developers built them out with a very thoughtful sort of floor plan in mind. Out here, beautiful living space that I feel like is very multi-purpose, multifunctional. So you have these tiered sections, like we're checking all the boxes. You have a space where you can eat outside. You walk up one more tier, you have a sofa area, lounge area. I could see someone putting a fire pit there. And then you walk to the very top level, which has artificial grass. You could always change that out if you wanted to. But like if you have kids, or if you like to work out, or you want to do something on a grassy area, you have that box checked too. I think there's a lot of build outs of yards where they're just not useful. In this one, I think like you're allowed to do planting. You just have everything that you might want back here. So it's a really well done space. One of the things buyers out here like to keep in mind or think about is how are the homes surrounding your particular home looking in at you? You can find some homes that really have a fishbowl feel. Some of the neighbors are a lot closer, or you just feel like they're all kind of looking into your yard. You have a little bit of that from maybe this home that's a little bit more up the hill, but generally speaking, the foliage and the fencing keeps it really private, which is nice. Let's go quickly take a look at the garage and then we're gonna head out. So our garage is located here. The nice thing is it's all direct access into the home, which is really nice. You don't have to walk outside and then back up your front stairs. You have your laundry in here, a little bit of storage area on the side, Tesla charger. You have a tankless water heater that's making it nice to have some extra space in here. And the nice thing here is you can drive your car into the garage, and the things we have to think about in San Francisco. You can open your doors to get out in your own home versus like feeling like you have to let somebody out of the car so that you can pull into your garage. Sometimes you have literally walls right here. So this is just nice and open. I mean, it's a 1-car garage, but you could possibly park in the driveway. The developer also tackled the roof, a new heating system. So your boxes are pretty much checked. It's just move-in ready. Okay, we're gonna stop our house tour in the garage of all places, but let's go out. I want to go show you actually kind of a secret special park that's just about 2 blocks away. And then we're gonna talk a little bit more about walkability. I wanna compare this house to another home that is more walkable than this one and tell you what that one cost. Okay, come on, let's go take a look. Okay, let's go take a look at this beautiful park nearby. It's 2 to 3 blocks away, so we're gonna walk over there. So I wanna talk about walkability, obviously. The home that we were just in, not as walkable in most people's minds, although it does have some conveniences nearby. The home that I wanna compare it to was one that we just sold. It's not in Parkside, but it's in the neighboring sub-district, which is West Portal. If you look on a map though, these 2 homes are a mile from each other. That home was 1 block off of West Portal's downtown. West Portal is super, super cute. Go to our YouTube page if you don't know West Portal very much. Go to the video that our team did on that neighborhood. There are so many new restaurants. There's a cute donut shop that just opened up. Little Original Joe's, they have one there from the past few years. So there's just so much, and people are loving West Portal more and more. So this other home was 1 block off of that. So amazing location. There's also a Muni that's running through that downtown and takes you to the Embarcadero. So commuting wise for work, if you go downtown for your job, I mean, couldn't be better. So walkability sort of at its prime. Weather is a little foggier out here, definitely foggier than let's say like a Noe or a Bernal. But the Parkside and West Portal are very much the same in that respect. So we have pretty much everything the same about these 2 homes. They were the exact same size, both redone completely from top to bottom in the last 3 years. They were both originally like 1920s or 1930s homes, same floor plan, like pretty much to the T. The only difference that the other one had was that you actually could walk out to your yard from that flex area with the wet bar, whereas 26, where we were just at, you had to walk through a bedroom. So difference that's not huge in terms of value, but it's definitely something on people's mind. Other than that though, they are kind of direct comparisons except for the piece of walkability. So it's great for our conversation to compare those 2. And so what do you think the difference was in terms of those 2 houses? What do you think walkability actually cost? I want a drum roll for dramatic effect. So the property on 26 where we just were, we are putting it on the market tomorrow. Comps show that the home should probably sell about $300,000 to $400,000 less than the home that sold next to West Portal. So what does that mean in terms of percentage of the overall price? It was about a 13. It's going to be around probably a 13% difference. So in this case, that's what walkability costs you. So it's interesting for any buyers out there thinking through, like, what do I want to spend on? What do I want to compromise on? And can I get a lot more for my money if I don't care about walkability? You certainly can. And for Parkside, all you have to do is jump in a car and you're literally in West Portal in probably 5 minutes or less. And so you have that access, you just don't have it right outside your front door. So always kind of fun to meet buyers and talk them through what matters to them and what doesn't, and show them the opportunities that are out there. Because I mean, saving 13%, if you don't care about that, is huge. It's on, as mentioned, the western side of the city. It is synonymous oftentimes with the Sunset, although they are distinct neighborhoods. The Sunset feels very similar to this, but it's closer to Golden Gate Park. Some people would say it probably has a few more sort of restaurant amenities, but they're very similar in that sense. Go to our YouTube page and we also have a full Parkside video and full Sunset video so you can compare and contrast the two. But I'd say most of my buyers who are considering the Sunset should also consider the Sunset if there's not some specific reason why they want to be further north. Some people might say, I want to be walkable to Golden Gate Park, which this is not. So that's definitely a consideration. I love how you can see the Golden Gate Bridge from so many parts of the city. I recently sold a home in Bernal, and that is the complete opposite side of the city. You would never know that you could see a Golden Gate Bridge from Bernal Heights, but you can. It is a fact. I love that. That's probably one of my favorite things about this whole city is that bridge. San Francisco is so nuanced. If you're not already gathering that from our videos, there are so many intricacies, and that's why we love selling here so much. If you want to get a better deep dive on the neighborhoods we have here, what are the differences between them, go to this QR code here. We have built out an entire website just dedicated to neighborhoods, and we give you free guides, literally free, to help you figure out where you're meant to be in the city. So go to the QR code, check it out. Our buyers tell us all the time how much they love it and how much it's helped them in their process. Okay, we've made it. This is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. So we see the Golden Gate Bridge. We see basically all of the Sunset, all of the Richmond. You can see the park, and then we can see the water. I think I can see my house. So beautiful. And today is a little overcast, not super foggy, but definitely overcast, but it's still beautiful. I love this park. I think people don't know it enough, honestly, but it's so beautiful. It's actually it's technically like the Sunset Reservoir. There's a reservoir above us here, but there's a path that walks completely around it here, and obviously a big hill, but you can see the city from here. It's a beautiful spot to walk. I would bring a coffee here and just take in the neighborhood. So let's talk a little bit more about Parkside as we finish out. So Parkside is, as I mentioned, it's a sleepier neighborhood. It's very suburban feeling in a lot of ways. The weather isn't super sunny. You definitely get the fog from the ocean rolling in. I think people choose to live in this area because they love the ocean. They don't care as much about having things right outside their front door. They don't need to get right into the city every day, or if they do, they'll be fine driving or taking a bus line into the city. You get more for your money out here. It's basically all single family homes in this part of town. And so if that's important to you, and kind of creating roots with not being in a condo, for example, this is a great section of town to do that in. My buyers bought 26, which we toured today, because they had friends and family that lived in the area. They wanted something that was completely turnkey. Again, they get more for their money versus other parts of the city. Got a lot of space. A 4-bedroom, 4-bath is just great. They had a daughter while they were in that home, which is so great. They built their family there. They are moving to Southern California to be by more family, so they didn't stay there long. Things changed in their life, but their story was really fun because they actually lived here. We supported them in selling their previous home in San Francisco. They moved to Seattle for work. They were going to change up their life plans a little bit, and then I think honestly they missed San Francisco, and so they quickly came back to the city. They bought a house here on 26th, and now they've just decided that being near family is an important thing to them. So we are helping them yet again. They're fantastic people, and they loved living here. They loved this side of town and everything that it offered. I think San Francisco, a lot of people feel like walkability is everything, because if you're going to live in a big city, why not live in the heart of it all with access to all these cultural things and restaurants, and there's so much that's great about that. But I also think there's something to be said about having that access and going into the city for work maybe, or meeting friends, or taking your weekends and spending time there, but then also coming back to some place that's a little quieter and more maybe family friendly, or places where you can get a single family home, feeling like you almost have the best of both worlds with kind of a more suburban, quieter feel with access to parks and the ocean, but still in the heart of one of the best cities in the world, arguably. So another reason why people love living here is access, honestly, to like the South Bay, for example. It's pretty easy to get on the freeway here. You take 19th Avenue and you can get down to the peninsula pretty easily if that's where you work or if you have family living there. So there is accessibility in other ways for sure. And then while you're not as close to Golden Gate Park, you have these little pockets of parks where we are right now, but also you have Stern Grove, which is amazing. The Stern Grove Music Festival takes place there, so there's a lot of activity in the summertime within that park. Such a beautiful park. I mean, it's basically like a sunken oasis with all these gorgeous eucalyptus trees, ponds. The music venue itself for Stern Grove is kind of built out of the side of a hill. It's just really, really special spot that a lot of people don't know about. And that is right out your backyard, being on this part of town. And then you do have access to West Portal. So if you do want to take advantage of a little downtown here in Parkside, especially Inner Parkside, you could actually even walk there. It's about more of a mile, but if I lived here, I would certainly be like, okay, family, we're packing up, we're walking to dinner tonight, and we're gonna go enjoy some good food downtown and then walk home. Like here in San Francisco, we have the weather where you can just be outside pretty much year round. And if you're up for walking a mile, like walkability is really relative to a lot of different people. So you certainly have that here, even though it's not quite out your back door. Hopefully this video helped you learn a little bit more about walkability, what walkability actually costs in San Francisco. If you have more questions about all of these nuances or what the process is like to buy or sell in San Francisco, reach out to us. We have sold over $1 billion in sales, and we have ranked as one of the top teams in San Francisco for over the last decade. Reach out to us via text, email, or phone call, and we'd be happy to help you.